I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Hey, my homies, what's poppin', man? Another UFC card to break down. Hey guys, that UFC London card, man, super lit. Super lit, man. When Arnold Allen was teeing off against Dan Hooker, man, I was going mental for that stoppage. But yeah, man, it was super lit to see all that talent, you know, Jack Shaw, Molly McCann, Paddy Pimblett, you know what I'm saying? We don't get knocked out. Yeah, super lit, man. I love that card. Alright guys, one thing before I jump into the breakdown. Make sure you light up the comment section with 2 fight parlays again. Light it up. Alright, let's get into the breakdown. Let's go. Alright, starting off this card, we've got Saldana taking on Bruno Souza. Now, what I see in this matchup, guys, is primarily 2 kickers. You know, Saldana's not really much of a puncher. Bruno Souza, in my opinion, the same thing. You know, both of these guys are kickers. So that's maybe how you make a prediction with this matchup. You know, just ask yourself who's going to be the better kicker. You know, you could kind of look at the grappling side of things. You know, go back and watch Saldana. Jordan Griffin grappled him, and so did Austin Lingo. So you look at those 2 performances where Lewis is getting grappled, and you could kind of factor that into this matchup. But I'm not going to do that, guys. I think this matchup is primarily a kickboxing matchup. It should stay striking, and I think it kind of comes down to who's the better kicker. You know, just pick who's the better kicker in this matchup, which is quite a difficult thing to do. You know, Bruno Souza didn't really have like a good UFC debut. You know, he was matched up against Bagdasaryan, who's a really high level Muay Thai guy. Now guys, Saldana's not really on the same level as Bagdasaryan. You know what I'm saying? This is a good matchup. It's kicker versus kicker. Who's it going to be? Who's our prediction in this matchup? Yeah, for me on this one, guys, I'm going to side with Saldana. He's a good kicker. The performances have been quite close, you know, been grappled a little bit here and there. So yeah, my first prediction on this UFC fight card, I'm going to side with Saldana. Now looking at the betting line, yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Both of these guys minus 110. It's deciding who's the better kicker. You know what I'm saying? It's a good one. Alright, man, let's try to pronounce these names. We've got Alias... Oh my goodness, this is bad already. Alright, let's start again. We've got Aliaskhab here... Oh my goodness, this is bad. Alright guys, so starting with Khizriev. This guy fought on the Contender Series and completely dusted his opponent. He's a Russian guy, so we know what he's going to do.
Run.
He's going to take the opponent to the mat, look to smash, you know what I'm trying to say. That's what the Russian fighters like to do. Now looking at the opponent, guys, to be honest with you, I've only seen a couple matchups, but yeah, I'm quite confident in my prediction. I do not give this Denis Tiuliulin guy much of a chance. I really don't. Anytime you make like a bold prediction, you know, it's a big shout, but I'm gonna do it. Hey, to be honest, guys, I did make a bold prediction last week. I said Muhammad Mokaev, even though he hasn't made his UFC debut, not only is he gonna win, not only is he gonna stop Cody Durden, he's going to be a future champion. Now that call before the UFC debut is looking pretty good now that he dusted Cody Durden inside a minute, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm not going to make the same prediction that Khizriev is going to be a champion. I'm not going to make that prediction, but I am going to say he's going to dust Denis on the mat. I think he takes the opponent to the mat. And it's complete dusteration from there. So, yeah, that's going to be my prediction. And looking at the betting line, you've got... Oh, my goodness. -5. Let's get on to the next one. That's a madness. All right, moving into a matchup between David Dvorak taking on Matheus Nicolau. Low-key, really difficult matchup to predict. I haven't picked against David Dvorak yet. You know, he's had a few UFC fights. I've bet on him every matchup and the guy's making me money. For those of you that don't know too much about David Dvorak, the reason why this guy looks pretty good inside the octagon, he's a chess player. You know, moving the pieces on the chessboard, you know what I'm saying? He likes to play that game. Now guys, as we know, when you get inside the octagon and you're having a fight, it's almost like a chess match. You know, I do this, you do that. Now you're looking to do something else. I have to read that, adjust to that, make my move. You know, it's a chess match. And that's really why you've got David Dvorak, who has 20 wins and only 3 losses. Now on the flip side, Matheus Nicolau, this guy's pretty good too. You know, the jiu-jitsu's good, the punching power's good, the movement, the cardio, all of his weapons, pretty good. And that's why this one's low-key a difficult matchup to predict. Now, if you put a gun to my head and I had to bet on this one, I had to make a prediction. I'm going to bet on the guy who plays the chess. You know what I'm saying? I haven't picked against this guy yet. I'm picking David Dvorak. You know, my reasoning behind making that prediction is not too logical. You know, it's a good matchup. Either guy can win this one. But I think if David Dvorak is showing good IQ, you know, and he's showing that inside the fight, he might show that again here. And to be honest, guys, I took Tim Elliott against Nicolau, and he was doing pretty good in that matchup. And if I'm being honest, man, Tim Elliott isn't really a smart guy. You know, he's not a smart fighter. Whereas David Dvorak, super intelligent. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. Looking at the betting line, it's a close one. You've got David Dvorak -130, -140. Alright guys, we've got a matchup between Danaa Batgeral taking on Chris Gutierrez. I'm going to spark the blunt on this one because this is a sick matchup. Man, Chris Gutierrez has been cashing those betting slips, and so has Danaa Batgeral. Both of these guys making me money. Man, even against Brandon Davis, you look at what Danaa Batgeral done in that matchup. I see a lot of people picking Brandon Davis. Yeah, the lead hook is pure money. And not only one time, you know, you look at what he done to Kevin Natividad with the lead hook. This one was step back. So yeah, guys, when you're looking at Danaa Batgeral, the boxing, you know, this guy is super violent. Now on the flip side, Chris Gutierrez isn't exactly smacking you with his boxing. It's the calf kick. The calf kick is money for Chris Gutierrez. So that's really what you've got to decide on this one. You know, are you going to take the guy who can sleep you with the hands, or are you going to take the guy that can basically cripple you with the kicks? You know what I'm saying? Which one are you going to take? Usually I pick both guys. You know, when Danaa's fighting whoever, I'm making that pick. When Chris Gutierrez is fighting whoever, I'm making that pick. This time you've got to pick between these two guys. You know, who are you going to pick? I'm going to pick the boxer. I like the calf kicking game of Chris Gutierrez, but I'm not sure it's going to work in this one. I could be wrong though. You know, those calf kicks are pure money, but yeah, I kind of think the boxing in this one might be the result. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. Now looking at the betting line, you've got Danaa Batgeral -150, -160. Yeah, I think it's spot on. You know, you can't put Chris Gutierrez like a big underdog. Alright, we got a matchup between Sara Mcmann and Rosa. Guys, my prediction on this matchup, I'm taking Rosa all day, every day of the week. Maybe a little bit disrespectful to Sara Mcmann, but you cannot pick Sara Mcmann here. There's no way. Now, if you're looking at what Sara might do to win the matchup, there's only one thing she really can do, which is going to be wrestling. Now, man, if she can pull that off, you know, it's going to be a horrible prediction from me, but I'm pretty sure that Rosa wins this matchup. If you're looking at what Rosa's good at, it's pretty much everything. You know, her kicks are good, her boxing's good, the jiu-jitsu's good, the IQ. You know, she does pretty much everything at a good level inside the UFC. And Sara Mcmann's over 40 years old. So yeah, my prediction, I'm going to take Rosa. I've picked her every single UFC fight so far. And I'd say this one's, you know, it's a mandatory win. Now looking at the betting line, you've got Rosa -200, -220. Yeah, it's a good parlay piece. You know, if you want to bet on Rosa, you take that -220 line and you just parlay that up. I'm pretty sure it cashes. Alright, moving into a matchup between Marc Diakiese taking on Slava Borshev. Guys, I just want to see the Slava dance. I want to see Slava do the dance, man. We should have a betting line on that. You know, will he do the dance? Yes or no? +200. Now guys, Slava Borshev, this guy's a super good boxer. You know, if he can get the boxing going, good chance he sends you to Shadow City. You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, you've got Marc Diakiese, who's been in the UFC for some time. You know, he's a decent fighter. He did get choked out by Rafael Alves in his last matchup, and I took Alves as like a nice underdog in that matchup. But Marc Diakiese, man, he kind of loses the fight for himself. You know, the IQ in that last fight to just put your neck out there like that. It's like he lost the fight by himself. You know, and he done that against Dan Hooker earlier in his career. You know, just put the neck out there, got choked out. Now, is Slava Borshev going to choke out Marc Diakiese? Probably not, but the point I'm trying to make is the IQ's not great. So if you're thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to bet on Marc Diakiese, go in there and grapple Slava. I'm going to bet on him to grapple this guy. I wouldn't say it's like a bad bet, but at the same time, he is a striker. He's not really a wrestler. You know, let's be honest, man. The only way Slava Borshev is going to lose in the UFC, you know, this guy's a clean boxer. You've got to grapple this guy. So ultimately, guys, is Marc Diakiese going to be the guy to go in there and grapple Slava? I'm going to say no. You know, if Marc Diakiese can't get Slava to the mat or doesn't attempt to get him to the mat, that means we've got a striking matchup. In the striking matchup, who are you going to pick? I'm going to pick Slava. Alright, looking at the betting odds, you've got Slava minus 160, minus 170. You know, those odds ain't too bad. Either side, it's not too bad straight up. Alright guys, you've got a matchup between Maia taking on Fiorot. I'm going to make a bold prediction on this one. I think Maia is getting smoked. I think she's getting smoked, G. Now guys, last time I said the opponent was getting smoked, it was Jim Miller. It was Jim Miller that I said that, and he didn't get smoked. He got the complete opposite of smoked. He smoked the opponent. But man, is the MMA gods going to do that to me 2 times? You know, is Fiorot going to lose to Maia? I mean, thinking about ways she could lose to Maia, it would have to be on the mat. You know, Maia has to take down Fiorot. I don't see that happening, to be honest. I think Fiorot, the beast, she really is a beast. You know, her striking is super clean. The power, you know, not only super technical, but super powerful. So yeah, the only way Maia wins this matchup, in my opinion, has to take Fiorot to the mat, which I don't think she's gonna achieve. She tried to take down Caitlin in her last matchup and kind of struggled there. Fiorot looks physically strong. You know, this girl's a beast, a striking animal. So yeah, I'm gonna take Fiorot to completely smoke Maia. Moving into a matchup between Magny taking on Max Griffin. Now guys, for the last few weeks, there's been one fight on every card that I'm initially thinking this guy wins, and then I swap my prediction. There's one fight on every card that's been happening, right? A couple weeks ago, it was Firas CM and Terence McKinney. Originally, I was on Firas, and then I swapped to Terence. And then it was Amir Khani and Mike Grundy. Originally, I was on Amir Khani, and then I swapped to Mike Grundy. Originally, guys, I was thinking Max Griffin's gonna win, and now I swap my prediction. I'm gonna take Magny to win this fight, and the main reason why I'm gonna do that, I just think Magny, man, with the output, the reach, the height, I think that might be the story. Now on the flip side, you know, Max Griffin has looked pretty good inside the octagon, you know, on a nice win streak. But yeah, looking at the matchup for itself and looking at what Max Griffin might have to do to get the win, I think you've got to take down Magny. I think you've got to grapple him. You know, Max Griffin is a good striker. You know, his striking's good, but is it going to be good enough to stand with a guy like Magny? It's probably not going to be good enough. You know, in a striking matchup, I kind of favour Nil to win that type of fight. You know, the height and reach, like I said, the output. It looks pretty good on the judges' scorecard. So yeah, guys, like I said, initially I was on Max Griffin to win the matchup, but I think it makes more sense that Magny is going to win this fight. Now, looking at the betting line, you've got Max Griffin nearly plus 200. You know, plus 200, that's a big line. But yeah, the prediction from me and the story of the fight, I think Magny is going to win with the output and just make it difficult for Max Griffin to get his striking going. Good matchup though, both of these guys good fighters. Alright my homies, you know what time it is, man, and if you don't know, now you know, or you should know, you're getting to know. Most of you know. If you waited to smoke with me, amen. If you've been smoking this whole time, double amen. If you're not a smoker but you enjoy the smoke breaks, that's a triple amen, gang. Let's go. Hey, I hope all of you guys are doing well, doing blessed, having a good day, having a good week. Now guys, I mentioned it at the start of the video, I'm gonna mention it again. Hey, you've got to bless the comment section with the 2 fight parlays. There was so much money in the comment section on the UFC London card. You've got to bless the comment section with the same energy. 2 fight parlays. And if you see your bro in the comment section and your bro's already posting that 2 fight that you like, give that a thumbs up. Alright guys, just before we finish the smoke break, I want to mention 2 things. The first thing I want to mention is quite a weird thing, but I'm high right now, and I see this when I was high too. I see a video of Elon Musk, and on the video he said, if people didn't make stuff, there would be no stuff. And then he just kind of stared at the person he was speaking to. And in those moments of him staring at the person, I was just like, yeah, that's true. If people didn't make stuff, there would be no stuff. That's truthful. That's facts. So yeah, man, creativity is a good thing. Remember to stay creative. And the second thing I want to mention before we finish the smoke break, guys, with my betting, I've been in this yo-yo consistency, right? Win-loss, super annoying consistency. But on the UFC London card, I said, I'm going to win this. I'm going to break the consistency. I'm going to put two together. And I did. Let's go. So now I've broke that yo-yo consistency. Now it's about putting another win together, you know. Curtis Blaydes versus Chris Daukaus fight night. I've got to win this card. So if you want all of my bets on this UFC card, there is only one way to do that, and that's to join the Patreon. Be sure to also join my Discord. On UFC fight nights, the Discord is super lit, super active, super enjoyable. So yeah, guys, let's go. Let's break down this UFC card, main card. Let's go. Alright guys, moving into a matchup between Oleinik taking on Latifi. Now what you've got in this matchup is going to be grappler versus grappler. Oleinik is all about that jiu-jitsu life, which is kind of weird for a Russian, to be honest. Latifi is primarily known as a wrestler. Now it's a weird matchup because Latifi isn't actually a heavyweight. You know, he spent most of his career at 205, which is light heavyweight. But yeah, this is the matchup we've got. Now when you look at Oleinik, you know, kind of keeps getting dusted. You know, if I'm Oleinik, I'm just trying to grapple. But to be honest, he kind of does try to do that. He keeps getting beaten up, but he is trying to grapple. That's going to be the way that Alexei wins this matchup. You know, he's got to take the back of Latifi, got to take him to the mat, or even have Latifi take him to the mat. You know, he likes those, what's that choke called? Ezekiel choke, that's it, off the back, real sneaky. But yeah, guys, my prediction, gun to my head, there's no way I'm picking Oleinik, no way. You know, Latifi kind of has to slow down or make a mistake for Oleinik to win this matchup. I don't see it happening. I think Latifi's going to smack Oleinik with a calf kick, maybe knock him out on the feet. Alright, moving into a matchup between Askarov taking on Kara France. We've got the fireworks on this one. This one is a mad fight. Askarov is a prospect. He's probably going to fight for a title at some point. When you're looking at Kara France, you know, the same thing. Let's be honest. He's going to fight for a title at some point. So whoever loses this matchup, you know, it's not a bad thing. Both of these guys are killers. When you take a look at how both of these killers go about killing the opponent, they do it in a different way. Now you've got Askarov, who's the Russian, you know, so he's trying to mainly grapple. He's mainly trying to wrestle the opponent. Now does that mean the boxing, the striking's not good? It doesn't mean that. Askarov has decent striking. But when you're looking at what he primarily wants to do, wants to wrestle.
Let's wrestle.
Now on the flip side, Kara France from City Kickboxing. He is primarily a boxer, but again, the same thing. Does that mean he can't wrestle, can't grapple? It doesn't mean that, you know, he can grapple. And that's why this one's a good matchup. You know, both of these guys, in my opinion, prospects, they're going to fight for a title. And that's pretty much my breakdown, you know. I think Askarov can strike in this matchup, he can grapple. I think Kara France can wrestle, can grapple, can strike. I think both of these guys are going to show their level. Now, making a prediction, I'm going to side with Don't Blink, Kara France. Could my prediction be wrong? Could Askarov go in there and grapple Kara? Could he do that? Probably. But at the same time, I think Kara has good wrestling to get back to the feet, get back to the striking. And if he can strike a little bit with Askarov, you know, don't blink. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. I'd say a decision over a TKO for Kara, but yeah, this is a good matchup. Now looking at the betting odds, you've got Kara France is a big underdog, and I think you have to do it, you know, the same as Jack Shaw, you know, the same as Tom Aspinall. I think at plus 250, you know, you've got to play that. Alright, we've got a matchup between Matt Brown taking on Brian Barberena. The type of matchup where it's so difficult to make a prediction that, you know, you spark the blunt. And to be honest, you spark the blunt because Matt Brown's a legend, Brian Barberena's a legend. How do you not spark the blunt? Amen to both of these guys, you know, legends of the game. But guys, when you're trying to make a prediction on this matchup, it really comes down to who do you want to fade more. You know, no disrespect, it really comes down to that. Who do you want to fade more? Because man, when you're trying to think of reasons as to why you want to bet on Matt Brown, there's not many. He's 41 years old. When you're trying to think of reasons as to why you want to bet on Brian Barberena, you know, kind of leaving his prime, had that surgery, you know, nearly died. So yeah, there's not many reasons as to why I want to bet on Brian Barberena. So it kind of comes down to who do you want to bet against, you know what I'm saying? If you're looking at what Matt Brown done to Lima, you know, that knockout was real nasty. But to be honest, Lima's kind of got a dusty chin. You know, like I said, guys, the logic in this one's not too good. Kind of comes down to who do you want to pick against more. If I had a gun to my head, I'd pick against the 41-year-old more than the 32-year-old. Both of these guys are legends. They both know how to win the fight. I think Brian Barberena's, he's a dog. And at 32 years old, coming up against the dog, Matt Brown, mortal Matt Brown, who really is immortal, you know, 41 years old, still getting inside the octagon. Gun to the head, Brian Barberena. Now looking at what the bookies have done with the betting line, both of these guys minus 110, and rightfully so. You know, how do you make a pick? Like I said, it comes down to who do you want to fade more. I want to fade Matt Brown more for some reason. Alright, moving into the co-main event, we've got Joanne Wood taking on Alexa Grasso. My prediction is going to be Alexa Grasso wins this fight. If anyone can make a really decent case on Joanne Wood in the comment section, I would love to hear that. And to be honest, guys, shout out to the one guy, you know who you are. You're the women's MMA GOAT in the comment section. Always dropping that women's MMA fire. So I'd like to see what you've got to say in the comment section. But yeah, I just can't see Joanne Wood winning this matchup. You know, 36 years old, slowing down, super hittable. You look at her against Taylor Santos, she didn't look like a prime Joanne Calderwood. She looked like Joanne Wood, to be honest. You know, the girl who got flatlined by Taylor Santos, that wasn't Joanne Calderwood. That was Joanne Wood. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think Joanne Wood is I think she gets dusted by the boxer Alexa Grasso. This girl has super sharp boxing, and if Taylor Santos is teeing off on you like that, you know, Alexa Grasso might send you to Shadow City. But yeah, guys, if I had to pick between TKO decision for Alexa Grasso, I'm gonna side with a decision, but I wouldn't be shocked. You know, Alexa Grasso, Joanne Wood, this ain't Calderwood, this is Wood, you know what I'm saying? The prediction has to be Alexa Grasso. Alright, my homies, main event, you've got a matchup between Curtis Razor Blaydes taking on Chris Daukaus. If you've enjoyed my breakdown, enjoyed any of these predictions, make sure you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, amen to that. Alright, as for the breakdown on this main event, it's pretty much wrestling versus boxing. Pretty much. And that's not to say that Curtis Blaydes can't stand and box a little bit. You don't wanna, you know, you see why you don't wanna if you're Curtis Blaydes. I remember when he got rocked by Marc Hunt and then instantly shot for that takedown. Man, against Derek Lewis, you know, Shadow City, what can I say? If you're Curtis Blaydes, you've got to stick to the wrestling. To be honest, man, he did shoot for a takedown against Derek Lewis, which resulted in getting sent to Shadow City, so that's kind of unlucky. Now, is Chris Daukaus going to catch Curtis Blaydes with the same uppercut? Is he going to catch him with the same violence? Probably not, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Chris Daukaus has that same type of death touch as a Derek Lewis. So really what Chris Daukaus has to do to win this matchup is just strike a little bit with Curtis Blaydes. You know, if Curtis isn't trying to wrestle, isn't trying to get Chris to the mat, then ultimately you've got a kickboxing matchup. You know, it's a weird thing to think about because when you think of Curtis Blaydes and Chris Daukaus in a kickboxing fight, you don't exactly think to yourself, it should be one-sided, it's going to be Chris Daukaus all day with the striking. You don't really think that, but you do think about the chin of Curtis Blaydes. You do think about him getting hit clean and just kind of falling to the mat and losing the fight that way, you know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, guys, ultimately I think Curtis Blaydes knows what he has to do to win this matchup. He has to take Chris Daukaus to the mat, and he probably does that. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction. I'm going to take Razor Blaydes to get that wrestling, maybe a ground and pound, maybe a submission, could be a decision. Now looking at the betting line, you've got Curtis Blaydes minus 400. You know, if he wrestles, minus 400 all day. That's fair. Alright my homies, go to the comment section, drop down your 2 fight parlays, your main events, your co-main, your underdogs, all of that good stuff. Light up the comment section like we did on the London card. And my homies, keep your eyes to the sky, never glued to your shoes. Mac Miller. Alright, peace.